Hey guys, Long Haul Larry, and we're out here in the Upper garage and just working on projects and everything else. One of the big things that I've been working on is this ceiling. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I actually have this whole garage with a false ceiling in here and have it all painted with a very gloss white. And then I put my LED lights back up there, and wow, is it so much brighter in this garage. But I thought I'd show you guys this. I have a lot of people that I know down Wisconsin and stuff, and they're always like, how much snow did you get? You know, I heard you got a storm last night. How much? I'm constantly getting bombarded with this stuff. And they're thinking about coming up snowmobiling or whatever, and I get it. I used to do that and stuff, and trying to figure it all out before you make that, big long drive up here. And I decided I'm gonna make my own snow thermometer. It's kind of at an angle right now because my ceiling's not 8 feet tall, but I thought it came out pretty good. Basically, it goes one to all 8 feet, and I put the little black tabs in there for the inches and stuff, and I'm going to put it in the backyard, and I am going to put it out the back window in the backyard, and when somebody asks, I'm just going to snap a picture. This is what we got. I think it's going to be pretty good. We're actually getting a snowstorm right now. But I think I'll show you guys the ceiling and everything and show you what's going on with this. But I just want to show you guys this before I stick on the backyard. This thing came out pretty cool. I like it a lot. Well guys, I thought I'd show you guys my ceiling now in my garage. Looks pretty good, huh? It's a real glossy enamel paint that I painted. This is you'll see kind of like waviness in the panels and stuff. It's just paneling. There is plastic up above it, and then just paneling. So it doesn't have any kind of structure. It's real flimsy, but I mean it's fine. It holds in the heat and stuff. But you can see it's all been painted, and this real nice glossy paint reflects the light. It's so much brighter in here. But it's all sealed up and everything. And I have these here. These are doors. They're all hinged. And then there's these little clasp things here. There's 3 of them on there to keep it all straight and everything, so there's no gaps or nothing. And those they just swing down. And now I can put a ladder and get back up into the attic. And I put one on each side. So I am planning on getting a whole bunch of rolls of insulation. I have probably about 15 rolls left from when I did the house. It's out in my shed outside. I plan on bringing those in and laying all that insulation up on top of this inside the rafters. And then what I'm going to do is get some 3/8 like OSB plywood or whatever and lay it on top of the rafters up there so I can use that for storage. And also I can just walk up there. I can put the ladder and just crawl up and walk up and get up in that attic, and I can store stuff up in there and everything else. And that will help. Right now, I have this heater right here that I bought. This propane heater. And I have this thing, and I ran it into the propane in the house. And I can turn it on out here. And what it does is it takes like, when it's super cold out here, it'll take probably 3-4 hours to get a decent warmth in here. There is no insulation in the walls or nothing else, and that door on there, it does have some leaks around it. The bottom and stuff, some snow, you can see blows in over in the corner there all the time. And then I straightened the outside of the trim up and stuff, and you can actually see daylight on the sides. And until I get the siding put on here and everything, get this all straightened out, I'm going to have leaks. But even with that door in here, I mean, if you run the heat in here and stuff and doing some projects, it's comfortable. I mean, right now it's actually probably 60 degrees. Because I've had the heat on for a while. And what I always do is I do have that little turbo heater. It's a little propane turbo heater thing. And I will run that when I first fire this up. And I use that to heat the place up fast. And then I shut that off and I just run this. And then I have like a little fan that's mounted up there in the ceiling, pointed down towards the floor. and it just kind of blows the air right across the top of the heater and blows it out into the main part of the garage here. This thing does have a thermostat on it, and right now I have it set at like almost 2. It's a little bit high. I usually have her on 1 there, and it will shut off. Usually it's like, I'd say 55, 60 degrees. It'll shut off and then turn on and shut off. And it works just great. But you can see the ceiling is just awesome. I mean, it's just all done. I mean, you can see how warm it is. I even got flies coming to life in here when I turn the heat up. But, I mean, it's just awesome. It's all set up and everything. And I think what I'm going to do is get rid of these. They sell these little LED. They're kind of like a 3-leaf thing. My boss has them in his garage out at his place, and they work really nice. They're a little bit expensive, but I think I might get those to put those on there. That way, a lot of times I don't have to turn on the other LEDs. I can just flip the switch and just run those. But then if I'm working out here, I can turn the main LEDs on. So yeah, it's coming along real well. I even got all this painted up over here, so this is all protected now. All the door jamb and everything. And it's got that nice enamel coat on there, so, you know, I'm out here working and my hands are greasy and stuff, and I go in and, you know, dirt gets on there stuff, it'll be able to wipe off because it's real nice and shiny and smooth, so it'll be easy to clean and everything. So yeah, garage is looking really good. So the next project I'm going to be tackling is getting this door hung up. I'm going to start tearing into that beam in the house and start putting this door up and getting this door all set up. That's my next project on the list for here, the Yooper house. And I am back from Maryland. Did a week out there and got a bunch of projects done on some trailers. Got like, I think it was 3 or 4. I know it was 3, maybe 4 trailers I worked on, and 1 truck. So hopefully that was worth the airline tickets and the hotel and everything going out there. But I'm back, a little bit sore, but just do a little bit of recovering and work through it. But I am back, and I need to do some things around the house here. One of the things is TT. Tracy's snowmobile. I used her snowmobile. Went out with some people once, and I used her snowmobile. And it was super, super cold out. It was like -5. And it was right when we started, and I went up on top of this little hill thing, and it turned, and it kind of turned me a little bit, and I went up against a tree. And the snowmobile was kind of tilted, and it just rested up against this right here, this air intake. And I thought, no big deal. And I stepped on that side, and I gave it just a little bit of gas. And when I did that, it pushed on this. And this is all plastic pieces, and this all shattered. It was like, really? And this hood is a bunch of different pieces. And all bolted together, and it put that hole in it, as you can see right there. Broke that piece of plastic out. It also cracked this piece. There's a crack in here, and I just glued this, and this air intake right here actually shattered really bad. Tracy wasn't here, and on the way home I stopped, and I bought a new intake, and I put that on there, and I just kind of glued this so it wouldn't leak, and I put that piece of duct tape over it. She showed up, and then we went snowmobile, and I thought maybe she wouldn't see it and I could get it all fixed before she even saw it. And the first thing she said on it, she was like, "What's this crack right here?" I was like, "I know." So I got to replace this. This is actually the air intake of the snowmobile. And then this piece here is a little piece of plastic. It's not part of this. It goes below this. This is actually a windshield. It doesn't look like a windshield, but the mountain sleds, they really don't have windshields. This just pops off. And then it's a piece that goes around the headlights. And I had to order this piece right here. So while I was gone, that all came in, and I have to put this all back together. This is the air intake box. It will sit down inside there. And where it's cracked is right here. It has a little hairline crack right along here. It's all glued together and be fine, but, you know, broke it, so I'm going to fix it back to original. So this piece has to go in there. And then this piece here is the piece that's broken. And this just bolts down and the headlights go up inside there and stuff. And can't see it through the plastic, but that's where the piece is broken. So I got to put those two in there. And get this installed in here. And while I have the hood all torn apart, because Skidoo is kind of a pain in the butt to take the hood off. And you have to do that to change the spark plugs. And it's been a year with the snowmobile, so I'm thinking we should put new spark plugs in it. Well, I got it torn apart, so I got a couple spark plugs. And then there's the snow bike. Right before I went out there to Maryland, we went out for a ride. And we found this area that nobody had touched. And it was just all powder. And we went out and played it and stuff. And I had a big problem. The bike started running really rough and everything. And I quick got it back here. Tore it apart. And this air intake was completely full of snow. I mean, it was packed full. And so I pulled it all apart, and actually the drunk carpenter drove it right like the day before. And he was going through some trees and stuff, and the air intake sits up in here, and I covered it with some of that screen stuff and tried to keep the snow from coming in here. Well, he must have caught a tree with it or something, and it broke the tip off there. And it just packed it full of snow. I'm trying to figure out a better technique to do this, and I think I have a way, so I'll be working on this too. I found a guy on YouTube and actually Facebook that actually makes a kit to do this, but the problem is it's a 14 or newer Yamaha bike. This is a 13, and the kit that he makes, it actually, there's a plate that bolts over and it has a tube that comes up, and then you can put a deal on here with a sock over the top of it, and it takes away from all that. But the problem is that on this bike, the gas tank sits right over top of it. So I can't do this. I got to figure out something different with that. Well, guys, here's the hood off of TT. And the pieces that have to be replaced are right here. And it actually runs down here. Goes all the way around the headlights, and it's down this piece here. There is a couple pieces of the wrap that I'm going to have to change over. Not too many, just a couple small pieces. I think I'll be able to just heat them up with a heat gun, peel them off, and then put them on a new one. It looks like there's a screw here, and then there was a plug right here. It was right here. I just pulled this out. And I think these two screws here, there's one on each side. Looks like that. And then that whole piece will be able to come off. It just goes around the headlight. You can see how it's broken right here. This piece, that's all that's wrong with it. But you don't want snow to be getting down in your electronics. And then the other piece is the airbox, which is right here. And so that will have to be all figured out. Looks like there's some screws over on the sides here. Looks like right here's one. So I'll have to figure this all out, take it all pieces. All right, guys, so I guess to get to all that stuff, I need to pull this off. This has got some kind of heat shield. And it's got these like little washers on them. They got little barbs. They push onto the plastic pieces and then they don't come off. Well, you don't want to wreck these things. I actually found if you take a little pick tool and you kind of put it on under, you kind of put it in a gap and just kind of work around, you can actually pop these things off without damaging anything. Works out really sweet. Just like that. I don't know, can't remember who it was. Some subscriber sent me a set of these, and this came right in use just now. Well, guys, got this all fixed up. The hood is all back together. I even got all the wrap, the decal parts transferred over from the broken parts back onto the new parts. Got all that taken care of. The part that was broken was this right here. There was a hairline crack that ran right down the seam, and it kind of went down here. I had glued it, but now it's new, so it's an airbox right here is what I replaced. And then this piece right here had a break in it and just kind of goes all the way around the headlight. So that is all fixed up, and I got all the decals back on there. So the hood is ready to go. So now I'm going to change the spark plugs. Since I got the hood off and everything else, I'm going to change the spark plugs. And the spark plugs are back here. They're back here. It's kind of dark. You can't really see, but they're back there. I can get to them now with the hood off. The problem with Skidoo is you have to take off a bunch of bolts. There's actually like like 8 or 10 bolts. It's all the bolts that are in here. All those bolts have to come off to get this hood off. And like my brother, he runs Polarises, the arm case. And with those Polarises, they just have little twist steels on them. You just twist them and they unlock it. And the whole hood, you could change them out in the field. It's hard. You got to take it all apart. And it does give you the little tool, but it's a pain in the butt to do it by hand. So I do it with the impact. And I figure since I got this part, I'm just going to throw a new set of spark plugs in it. And that way it's good to go. 2 strokes, and only you need to change spark plugs once in a while. And it is all done with break-ins, so they're probably going to be pretty coated with oil and stuff. So got to put a new set of spark plugs in it. Might as well do it now. My brother was saying one time he was out west with some guys, and he said a couple guys had skidoos. One of the guys unloaded, and his spark plugs were fouled, and they loaded it back up. And he was like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I got to take it to the dealer." And he goes, "Why?" He goes, "My spark plugs are fouled." So he always makes a joke about that. If you got to change the spark plugs, you got to take it to the dealer. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt to get the hood off, but it can be done. But while I got it apart, I'm going to throw new plugs in it. So I'm going to get working on that, change out the 2 plugs, and then put this all back together. All right, TT is all done. All the plastic is all fixed, and everything has been transferred over, all the different decals and all that stuff for the wrap. Oh, there's somebody about snowmobiling. I have a little issue. I was going to actually go out. I was thinking about going out with a guy today. Just kind of as a spectator, but I had a little issue with my truck, so I got to fix my truck quick. But what happened with the snow bike is like the day 2 days before I went out to Maryland, me and Tracy just went out riding, and we were out and in this field back here behind my place, and nobody's ever been back there. It was just beautiful. I mean, it was 2 to 3 feet of just fluff snow, and I was back there just ripping it and having a great time. Snow was like coming up over the handlebars. It was awesome. Then all of a sudden the bike just started like running really bad. It started choking out really bad. It just had no power. Every time I hit the gas, it did blah, 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 blah. And so I beelined it back for the house here. Got back here, and I did notice, because the drunk carpenter, he was out riding it. I don't know if he did it or I did it or what. But he was all riding, and I put these like covers. It's called frog skin. It's like a meshy material, but it breathes, but doesn't let water and snow into it. And I had covered the end of the air intake. This is the air intake. It bolts onto there, and it sucks air in through there, and then it comes out the front here, and these kind of curve around, so it keeps all the dirt and mud out of it. And the tip of this was broken. I saw that, and I was on all fluff snow, and I think that's where all this stuff came in. But I made it back in here, and I popped these covers off, and this air intake in here was completely packed full of snow. I mean, you couldn't get another flake of snow in there. So I cleaned it all out and everything, and then I fired up my snowmobile, and me and Tracy went back out and stuff. And I needed to do something else. And I have been doing a lot of research, and I found a guy on YouTube and also on Facebook. And he makes a kit that keeps this from happening. And what they do is you seal off the front of this so it can't get any air. And he makes this little, like, it's like an air adapter thing. And it's a plate that goes over the air intake. And you bolt it over and then it has like a tube that comes up. And then there's like a metal deal on it. And then it has like a frog skin cover that fits over the top of it to keep snow from. And then the air intake is right here. Works great. And I've watched guys with videos that have tried it. Said it solves all the problem against snow in there and everything else. Problem is it's for a 2014 or newer Yamaha YZ450F. This is a 2013. And the difference is the 2013 has these separate like this. And a 2014, the tank is set back here. It starts here. And then this piece here, this air intake, is a solid piece. It goes all the way around the whole thing, and it covers the air intake. And so you can cut a hole and bring it straight up through there, and the tank is down here. Well, this one I can't do because the gas tank is right there. So I can't do that. I have looked around trying to find those deals, and what my thinking was to seal off the front of this and then put some off the side here, sticking out. I can't find them. Anything. I've been to a couple shops, talked to them about it. Nobody can seem to find. I did find a shop that has a 2.5-inch little button that's got a rubber gaskets on it, and I would cut a hole in here, and then it has like a screen mesh on it, and I would put that frog skin over it, and it would make the air intake off the side here. And I think that will help because all the snow comes in from the front, and it always packs in by the radiator, and this is where your air intake is. And so if I seal this off and put it over here, I think it would help. I think it's going to solve the problem with it. But I ordered them. They found them in a book, and I ordered them. And it'll probably take a week to get here. Maybe not quite as long, but close. So until then, I have fixed this up. And I kind of glued this all back together and put the frog skin back on. And then the one thing is down on the bottom here, you can see this right here. There was a big hole here. And I think what this is for is if you're riding in like rain or wetness or something, and you get water into the intake, it comes in and then that's the bottom right there. And I think it drains out. Well, I don't want anything in there. So I've actually put silicone and sealed up all the seams and everything else. So it has to suck air in through here, through this screen. So I think this will work for now until I get that other piece. And then I'll just, when I get that other piece, then I'll take a piece of plastic and seal this all the way up in the front here. And then it'll have to go through the little hole in the side, which will be facing out over here. So, well, guys, I did not get this door hung. I've been fighting with this thing and how I want to do this and everything. I think I have a way, but I'm going to be doing this a different time. I did get all the runners down. I got everything else pretty much done in the house, inside here and stuff. This coming summer, I'm hoping to tackle the roof and the siding. And this place will be nice looking then. And hopefully get a start on a pole barn back there. I don't know if you can even see the runners. But basically it's the same exact carpet. It's a remnants of what we had left over from carpeting. And I just cut it in stretches because this is where we walk through a lot. A lot of times you go in and out, you know, snowmobiling, and you forget something, you come stomping back in or whatever. A little snow anywhere. That way it doesn't wreck the carpet underneath. And, you know, had that laying around anyways. And so I just used that. So, yeah. So, a lot of you guys have been sending emails and everything else. And I guess we'll talk about it real quick. So, yeah, I haven't been putting videos out. I did explain that I have lost my phone. And my phone had a lot of video stuff on it that matched up with my camera that I shoot with. I kind of do dual purpose once in a while. And I lost the phone. And I do not use the iCloud to back up things. With all the stuff that I shoot and everything and all that, it'd be super expensive. So I don't use an iCloud. And that's been the main reason. I've tried to make some videos, and that's why I'm shooting this. I'm trying to stay in sequence, and I'm going to try to get the videos coming out to you guys, and it'll be a catch-up thing. But I've also just had some personal stuff going on, and not going to be talking about it or nothing, but just been in a real funk, you know, and just haven't been recording. I apologize to you guys. Just haven't kept up with it. And I'll try to do better, and I'll try to get all back on track and everything. I will tell you that I am going to be going back to work. I'm going to give it a try. I'm not sure. The mechanic stuff, I don't know. Like changing tires and stuff, there's no way I could do it. And the driving, I don't know. I actually drove down to Wisconsin, visited with my parents, and that was harsh. I was in quite a bit of pain and stuff from that drive, and that was 5.5 hours. So yeah, I'm not really sure how this is all going to work out, but I'm going to be giving it a try. So once again, I apologize that I've been putting videos out. A lot of you people have been emailing me and stuff, and wondering what's going on and stuff. I'll get back on it. I'll do that right now. And I think that what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to make another channel. Because Long Haul Larry thing is about trucking and about mechanical stuff at trucks, blah, blah, blah. And then a lot of times if I do other stuff like snowmobiling or repairs, you know, and stuff up here, or working up here on stuff, or rebuilding a snowmobile, or doing something, working on something, people, they come on there and go, why is this on a trucking channel? And I get a lot of emails about that whenever I do that kind of stuff, when I kind of veer off. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a separate channel, and I will get it going in probably this summer. And it's going to be kind of like, I really haven't come up with a name on it. Maybe you guys can come up with a name on it. Basically, I was thinking like Snowbike Larry, maybe Youper Larry. I don't know. It's going to be more like up here, UP stuff. And the snow biking and the snowmobiling and repairing of these kind of things and doing stuff around here. And then I'll keep the trucking separate, and that way you guys can kind of keep up. It's one of the reasons why I haven't. I get a lot of emails about it, but maybe you guys can come up with a great name for it. Snow bikes are becoming very popular, and I think that might be a good name for it. I don't know, Snowbike Larry. Also like the Youper Larry, because I've become a Youper. That I have. So, I once again apologize for having putting on videos. I will get back on it, and then thank you for all the comments and concerns and everything, but I am all good. So I hope that everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night as you watch this here video. And if you're not, you can certainly try that all over again tomorrow. I will catch you later. See ya.